Students, what I want you to know is today you're going to learn about the latest jobs that our school needs to help prepare you to fill. I also want you to learn about future opportunities. We hope this will help you decide on your high school endorsement that you will be choosing in the spring when West Mesquite High School come over to enroll you for those courses, okay? Without further ado, thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for welcoming us into your school. On behalf of Workforce Solutions Greater Dallas and our board of directors and our funders at the Texas Workforce Commission, thank you for participating in Texas Career Industries. Woo! We're going to give you some information. We're going to answer some of the questions that you've already handed to us. Thank you for doing that. A lot of you filled out little cards for us. And we're going to leave you with some tools for the future. It's important to us. We succeed if you succeed. Workforce needs you in Dallas. We need you working in Dallas County. So we're going to help you today to figure this out. I know in 8th grade you have to make a lot of career decisions. And we hope this information will help you. And we're just not here for once. We're going to be here with you throughout the year, checking back in, seeing what other tools you need, and hopefully having another assembly sometime. With that, I'm going to introduce you to our representative from the Texas Workforce Commission. Mr. Peden is here, and he's going to talk to you a little bit.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Jeff Peden. I'm the Deputy Director for Information Technology. I'm here on behalf of the commissioners, Alcantar, Alvarez, and Hughes. We're really interested in this program. It's an exciting program to give you the opportunities to learn about careers. You guys really are the future workforce of Texas, and we need you to be strong and ready. The IT industry is really needing workers, and you guys are a great age to start to learn those skills that you're going to need for the future. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Peden. I'm Edie Diaz, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself real quickly. I actually work for a nonprofit that was established by the mayor of Dallas and several leaders in Dallas to work on collective impact. And a lot of people don't know what collective impact even is, but the whole idea behind that is that many organizations are doing great things in the city of Dallas and in the surrounding area, right? But we can do more together if we know what everyone's doing, and we kind of combine our great skills and talents and efforts to really try to have a major impact on some of our biggest challenges here in Dallas. So we have a lot of distinguished panelists today here to tell you all about their careers and answer some of those questions that you guys all sent in. There's some great questions that we got from all of you, so thank you for that. And we'll start right now with maybe Ms. Hoffman. Ms. Hoffman can tell us a little bit about the finance world. So why is it important to know about finance? Why do you think?
Well, why do you work? You work to make money, right? And so when you make that money, you need to make wise choices. You need to save. You need to spend, have a budget. So whether that's you personally, whether that's you when you work your summer jobs, don't spend everything you make. But it's also important in businesses. Every single company is in business to make money and to grow and to be able to pay their workers, which is one of the largest amounts of money that's spent in any company. It's paying people. And now as you start to enter this workforce and learn more about it, you need to understand what that looks like. If you're making $12 an hour and you work 40 hours a week, and then Uncle Sam has to take some taxes from that, you have to understand how much you have to live on every single week so that you can budget and put that together. Finance is very important. I know those numbers will make you go to sleep sometimes, but it's very important to understand how what you earn will impact your families and your lifestyle.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Ms. Rodriguez, could you tell us a little bit about, some of the students wanted to know how long it takes to become a nurse or a doctor or a phlebotomist or something. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
I'll tell you in general what I know, just like everyone else. So a doctor, it's really just going to depend on your specialty. A primary care physician or a doctor that you would go and see regularly for everyday things like a cold is going to have a minimum of 8 years of college, which sounds like a lot, but you'd be surprised in your youth how quickly that flies by. So don't let that discourage you. People in the healthcare field just get addicted to learning and exploring all those different avenues. If you're a specialist, sometimes it's a little bit longer. For nurses, it can be anywhere from 2 to 4 years. It just depends. Licensed vocational nurses is about 2.5 years. And a registered nurse is typically 4, although it can be as long as 8 if you're a specialty nurse. For something like phlebotomy, I believe that can be anywhere from 18 months to 3 years. And for community health workers, it's sometimes a semester or 2 for the hours that are needed to gain the competencies to be a community health worker.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so maybe someone from the panel could tell us a little bit about what you wear at work, or is it different for some of the industries? I think some of the students were curious about that. So
I can take that one. Good morning. I'm Holly Crowder, and I work for the Beck Group. We are a construction industry and architecture industry organization. And one of the things that is preeminent and most important for us is safety. Safety is important in everything we do. And that would be true for all of our industries, but at the end of the day, we really want to make sure that our crews and our workers and our people all go home the way that they showed up that morning. So yeah, we all wear a little bit things different. I brought my hard hat today.
Great.
I want to make sure I'm safe when I'm out in the field. So my hard hat, my safety vest, not the most attractive, but it does keep my head and my face dry and the sun off, and keeps me safe if I run into something. I'm kind of klutzy, so sometimes that happens. If something were to fall and hit me, it would keep my head safe. We wear safety glasses and then safety vests, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure everybody can see you. So if there's equipment driving around the site, or if you're crossing the street or crossing the project, we really want to make sure we can see all of those workers. So really ensuring that we are visible while we're out there. So we all wear safety vests. And we also wear work boots. I didn't wear mine today, though. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, safety is the most important part of our jobs. And so really making sure we're giving our people the tools and the personal protective equipment is what we call it, to make sure that you're safe while you're out on the job.
Great. And some of our students were curious about, I know you mentioned there's safety regulations and so forth, so that's really important to know. A lot of people don't know, and they might worry that they could get injured on the job. So
we start out with training and making sure you know how to do the job, how to do the job safely, what skills are required for that job, how to use the right tools, what's the additional safety equipment you may need. If you are responsible for structural steel welding, for instance, you're going to wear different safety gear to make sure that you are protected while doing that task. So a daily part of your activity would be to make sure you know what the steps are, what looks safe, what feels safe, and how to be safe in that environment. And there's a federal organization called OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, that is the governing body that puts rules in place that we follow on a daily basis to make sure that our workers are kept safe. So that body is something we train around. There's rules around it, and we enforce around those so that we can make sure our people are safe. So it is something we take very seriously in the industry and make sure that the people know what they're doing.
Great. So Ms. Crowder, let me ask you one more question. Can you go straight into a construction job right out of high school? What can you do?
There's a million paths to get there. You can start in high school with vocational training and go into an apprenticeship program, and that can be starting to learn a skilled trade. You can go to college to get into construction. You can be a construction engineer, an architectural engineer, construction manager, or you could leave high school and go straight into the workforce with a contracting partner that would give you that skills, those training. You could start out at the community college through the vocational program. There's the Construction Education Foundation. There are multiple paths to get you there and lead you in the career that's right for you. And that's something that you can start thinking about now. What path do you want to take? And if it's not college, there's lots of other avenues to get there, and the industry provides a lot of training around that.
Great, thank you. Let me jump into asking a question from our Mr. Scott, who knows a lot about the technology field. Tell us a little bit about that field first.
The thing about technology is it's always changing, and it's always changing society. One of the good things, if you notice, there's two IT people on the stage, it's because that's how prevalent we are. Mm-hmm. And she works in construction, she works in healthcare, she works in baking, she works in like community affairs. IT is in all of those fields. So I can go work for Baylor, I can go work for Beck Group, I can go work for Bank of America. All of those fields need people like me in their company. And that's going to even become a bigger thing going into the future, because what we're using technology for now is actually automating a lot of stuff. So all these different things that you see in society is all going to change. And technology is going to be the centerpiece of all of that. And there's going to be a computer built into pretty much everything that you touch. And probably most of it is going to be connected to the internet somehow. So it's a huge opportunity. So I know she asked earlier who was interested in technology. I would encourage you all to at least learn a little bit about it and decide, which area that you want to focus on, because no matter what you do, when you all become our age, technology is going to be a piece of everything that you do.
Great. So can you tell us, Mr. Scott, a few of the different careers that someone might have in technology and what type of education they might need to get to that career?
So the technology industry really is all across the board. Literally, there are kids that are 13 years old that are building mobile apps and games for your phone. Some of the apps that you all use were built by people your age. And that's the great thing about this, is that it doesn't necessarily require a college degree. All you need is a computer, an internet connection, and some knowledge. And if you have those three things, you can become an app developer. Now, you may wonder how much app developers make. It all depends on the popularity of your app and how many people out there want it. Some IT jobs don't require much education. Some places do require you to have a degree. Some places require you to have a master's or a PhD, especially if you get into research. Pretty much everybody that does high-level research has a PhD in some engineering or computer science or something along those lines. So it really is all across the board.
Great, thank you. So right now we're going to watch a short video.
Working with lasers is very exciting. You're always learning about different gas pressures. We use nitrogen, oxygen. Having pure, oxygen compared to just regular oxygen, you might think it's the same thing, but it's a big difference. I'm Edwin Vera, laser operator/programmer at Centec Group in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Here at Centec, we manufacture centralizers. Centralizers are used throughout the oil field and gas industry. We start with sheets of metal. We normally run different sizes. So depending on what sizes we're running, we try to get as much as we can on one sheet in order for us to minimize our scrap. Once we know exactly how many parts we need and what size we need, we lay it out, we designed it on sheets, and then we load it up to that's where it actually gets cut, and it goes to the next station.
So at this moment, this is the program we're fixing to cut. It'll show you a diagram what it looks like, and it shows the product.
The way I got started on being a laser operator is basically being the yes man. When I was told, do you want to learn how to use this machine, I would always say yes. They would ask me, are you willing to train so-and-so how to run that equipment? I was yes. Because the way I see it, if I could show somebody how to do my job, that gives me time for me to learn how to do something else, how to improve my knowledge, and how to be better. I think the best thing for a high school, for them to actually know a little bit, it will be their basic math, being familiar with computers, learning how to use computers. At the end of the day, it falls to being responsible. So responsibility has, a big factor on improving or finding a better career.
Right now it's starting the laser, so we have to wait for the whole product to actually upload the software in order for us to run this laser.
A lot of improvements on our lasers has been from our employers. We might cut parts a certain way, you have the guy come with an idea. It'll be faster if we cut 2 parts in the same sheet. It'll be safer for you to cut these parts this way, and trying and learning from errors, we have been improving.
The laser's run by axis, so X and Y. So right now it has to find the 0 point. So right now it's resetting.
Soft skills are very important. You have to be able to communicate with your employers, communicate with your coworkers. To become a laser operator, you don't need a degree. You could just be straight out of high school. You just have to find that one company that's willing to hire you. You might not start at the laser position yet, but if you could get yourself in that and just work your way up, show up on time every day, stay late every day, volunteer, help out, hard work pays off, and you will get that opportunity to be the laser operator.
So what we're doing right now is that the laser's cutting our parts. So once they finish cutting the parts, we'll see how they come out, and we'll see from the other side.
Out of high school, you could pursue a career without even having a degree. What matters a lot is who you are, your attendance, make sure you're there on time, and just being the yes man.
It starts from a flat sheet of metal, and this is our final product, a centralizer. This is what I made.
I love my job, and the reason is because I have a voice in here. To me, I would have to say it has to be the best job that I have ever had, to the point that I don't consider it a job anymore. For me, it's a career. Coming into work every day, having my voice heard, and being part of the team is very important to me.
Wow, great. That's a great video. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Scott at this time, who's going to tell us a little bit more about coding and then also show us a coding demonstration.
So I have a video. We'll start with that, and then I'll kind of go into it some more.
Wonderful.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, and none of us know how to read and write code.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
You're just trying to make something, trying to transfer something from your mind to the computer or to a tablet. It's an experience.
The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
So did anybody see anybody in that video that you recognized? Okay, you saw Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook. You saw Bill Gates, who did Microsoft. So the site that you see here is a site I created about 2 years ago. It's called VenueCenter.com. The reason we built this site is because it used to be really hard, and it still is to some degree, to find a place to have a wedding, for example. That is exactly what you need. So if you need a place to have a wedding, and say you want to bring your own food, but you want them to provide all the drinks and refreshments, you have to make a lot of calls to make that happen. And so we created this website so that you could do all this online, and in 15 minutes you could find the exact place that you wanted to have your event, and you could book it. I didn't have to buy anything necessarily. I didn't need a manufacturing facility to build this website. It just required my computer and a bunch of my time. It took me about 6 months to build it. Now this site probably generates $300,000 to $400,000 a month in revenue. And I don't work anymore. I don't work there anymore, but I still get paid on it. So about every 15 minutes, my phone will go off and saying someone else is looking for a venue to have an event, and if they book that, then I get paid, and I don't even work there anymore. So this is what I mean about this is how technology is changing things, because I'm getting paid right now to talk to y'all on something that I don't have anything to do with anymore. And I can create more and more websites over and over and make sure I get paid all the time for just all kinds of stuff. When I grew up, a lot of people said, oh, don't worry about math, don't worry about algebra, you never need that again. And that is the biggest lie that anybody could ever tell you, because no matter what you do in the future, all the stuff that you're learning here on a daily basis, you're going to need again in the future. You're going to get to put all the stuff into use once you become an adult. So that's why your teachers stay on you so much about learning this stuff, because you're absolutely going to need it in the future.
Great. Well, thank you. We're going to start wrapping up right now. And any of the panelists, if you have any last words. We have about a minute.
Well, I talked a lot, but I would just say find what you're interested in and really pursue that. And don't let people dissuade you from that.
I would say the final thing I'd like to leave you with, one of the questions that we didn't address today that some of you had is, what if you start something and you don't like it? What happens then? What if you get a degree in something and you decide you don't want to do that? You know what? We live in a world now that doesn't matter anymore, and you don't have to keep doing that. And you can change, and you can grow. As long as you have a drive and you continue your education, whatever that looks like, whether it's your own personal research or taking on other classes or looking for other certifications, you can change. I've changed my career 3 times in my lifetime, and I'm 35 years old. So it can happen.
Good point.
The only thing that I would want to share is be encouraged. I mean, there are so many opportunities now, and we that are here, we're here to help you. I've been in this banking industry. I've also been in human resources, where I help companies hire people. And we are always looking for talent. We're looking for new people. We're ready to grow you all to become part of that very productive and very successful workforce. So continue to explore, use the resources you have, and we're going to see you at work very soon.
Thank you, AC New Middle. Thank you.
Today I learned about website safety.
How many years of college we need to take.
Drawing, doing roads, buildings.
Teaching, education.
Technology.
I never knew what these jobs were. Should I have this opportunity? Which job should I choose? Which job I shouldn't?
Something interesting would definitely be how technology is developing, and it's going to eventually be the essential part of our lives. And so I'm definitely going to need that in the future to help me with teaching students and bettering their lives.
The career or job I'm interested in is anything to do with science or technology. How you need to keep it safe so other people can get into your websites.
I'm still in between trying to find out what I want to be, an architect or a surgeon. Stuff that will help out people later on in the future.